it with one of my newest song parodies for you guys. I'd like to do my Katy Perry parody for you of her big hit, Roar. Now this is Katy Perry if she had sleep apnea and an unsupportive boyfriend. Okay, sleep apnea and an unsupportive boyfriend. I used to plug my nose and hold my breath, afraid I'd wake you up and you'd get pissed, so I'd lay awake silently while you'd sleep so peacefully. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point till it finally dawned on me. If you want to have sex with me, well, you had me down, but you can kiss my ass, cause I've had enough. I'm gonna get some rest. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. Cause I got the eye of the tiger. Bullshit is over, cause I'm stealing the covers. You're gonna hear me snore. Louder than the lion. I'm gonna sleep like a champion, and I better not hear no more bitching. If you want any action, then you're gonna hear me snore. Do I seem tall to you guys?
Yeah.
Swear to God, if I hear one more person ask me if I play basketball, I'm gonna fucking scream. Alright, who's gonna do it?
You play basketball?
No, do you play miniature golf? I saw the little putter and I just assumed. Oh look, now it's a 3-wood. I like being tall, I really do. I just get tired of people coming up to me on the street going, "Yo, Weird Al Yankovic, we love your music." It's not that funny, sir. So you are homegrown here in Sacramento. A lot of people like, I don't understand these people out there that want to put down Sacramento. Sacramento is getting a bad rap from some kind of hipster types. I feel like they're trying to they want Sacramento to be what it doesn't need to be, like LA and that whole douchebag, hipster, snob factor. We don't need that.
Is there anyone in LA watching your show right now?
With exception to Pasadena.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Pasadena, we're not
cool.
talking about you, okay? That's not the crowd I'm talking about. I'm talking about more the,
Because douchebag, those are the people that are like trying to be cool, right?
Yeah, Pasadena's already...
They're already cool.
Old school and very elegant like Sacramento, which is why I was so excited to pick them up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so thanks for letting me clear that up, because I am being honest here. When I get down to LA, it's the other areas. I've always said that I would love, if I ever moved to LA, I'd want to live in Pasadena, somewhere like that, because it is it's more kind of like Sacramento. It's when you're in Pasadena, it's more laid back.
It's more farm to fork.
Yeah.
You can really taste the forks around there.
But it's when I'm over in the area of kind of the central LA parts and stuff, more the Hollywoody kind of people that are all trying to be something they're not. And I gotta say, people make it hard enough for me just try to be who I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let alone trying to be something we're not, right?
I don't blame you.
It's so obvious when you folks, and y'all know who I'm talking about, behave that way. Trying to be something. But anyway, let's get back to you as a local boy.
Yeah, and I think that's what I like about Sacramento. I've grown up here, so like you said, I am a local boy. Lived with my parents for most of that time, so I'm finally out on my own.
Finally out of the parents' house. That's got to be exciting.
House. Yeah, into their backyard, which is it's huge.
You got a little pup tent or something. So you've lived with them for some time, and
yeah, I don't know if you've ever lived with my parents, but I
have. I've had the pleasure, but I'm sure it's wonderful.
They're nice people, but you can only be there.
And that there are hair issues I wasn't dealing with before. Like I was checking my mail and talking to my neighbor, and she says, "Oh, honey, you've got a hair on your chin. Let me get that." And she went to swat it away, and it was attached. It was 6 inches long, and it wasn't there.
Who grabs a hair on your neck?
Yeah.
Anyway,
it reminded me of my grandkids. They take something and run with it.
She pulled on this hair.
Yeah. And so I've told my kids now if I'm ever in a
Who does that? Her neighbor. If you see a hair on somebody, Ladies, if you see a hair on another lady's neck, don't grab it and call attention to it.
My kids have been told if I'm ever in a hospital in a coma, they're to pluck me twice a day or I'll haunt them the rest of their life.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit also about the whole weirdness about plastic surgery out there. The fake, pretentious trend of...
That you don't even recognize people when you see them anymore.
Yeah.
You just know them by the voice. It's like, what? Who is that? Now, I decided my husband likes boobs, and so if it ever comes down to it and I want to do something special for him, I'm just going to have extra nipples put on every place I've got fat. And that man will never leave the house.
Extra nipples?
Yes.
I had never thought of that. Where else could you effectively put nipples?
You put them on your butt cheeks or on your thighs.
On your butt cheeks, and then your husband might feel more inclined to kiss your ass more often. I like it. Perfect. So here we go. Let's take a look at this first story here. Entitled, Fur Flies as More People Bring Animals on Planes. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this story. This is Daniel. Can you see Daniel, the emotional support duck here in this picture? You heard me right. Emotional support duck riding on an American Airlines flight. Pet owners have lost their minds, if you ask me, okay? I mean, somehow pet owners have managed to infiltrate the commercial airlines and have managed to get them to lose their minds too. Listen, I love animals just as much as the next person, but if you can't fly on a public airline without your emotional support duck, you need to get your shit together on the ground, at the local petting zoo first, and then you can join the rest of us sane people. Listen, the duck doesn't want to fly on a fucking plane anyway, okay? See, the duck knows how to fly. That's duck abuse, making him fly on a frickin' airplane. You couldn't be insulting the duck in a worse way. He's looking out the window at his fellow ducks flying by or flying into the engine, whatever the case may be. And he's mortified with embarrassment and depression that you have him on the airplane. I mean, you're making the duck actually need a support duck. That would be normal for him, see, because he's the freaking duck. What's next? I mean, we're gonna have the captain come over the intercom. This is your captain speaking. Just want to thank you for flying American Airlines. I've turned off the no seatbelt sign, so parents, if you'd like to bring your kids to the rear of the plane, where we've constructed a small duck pond using an above-ground kiddie pool, where they can feed the ducks all during the flight. Also, we'd like to remind our cat owners on the plane that we have 4 self-cleaning kitty litter boxes adjacent to each of our restrooms on the plane. And also for our dog owners on American Airlines, there are complimentary doggy bags in the seat rest in front of you, so please don't forget to pick up after Spot if he likely shit himself on takeoff, especially if he did it in your neighbor's lap. And those of you who are allergic to cats and dogs, ducks and rabbits, we haven't forgotten about you here on American Airlines. Your flight attendants will show you how to use the overhead oxygen mask to avoid your pending asthma attack. I mean, it's just... airlines and pet owners have lost their freaking minds. Hey there, thanks for tuning into the program. I'm Connie Bryan and you're watching The Connie Bryan Show. Well, good news, more Republicans are finally starting to admit that Donald Trump is retarded. But wait till you hear the excuse they're using for why they elected him anyway. Okay, you guys made history electing the nation's first black president, okay, so we did too. We made history electing the nation's first special needs president, okay? Okay, but everybody knows that's a bunch of horse shit, because you guys already did that with George W. Bush, remember? And now you've gone and done it a second time, which is setting a pattern. So I think we're going to have to start referring to you guys as the Special Needs Party.
Seriously though, did you hear did you hear the story that Republican Congressman Peter King recently called Trump an evil Forrest Gump? It was all over the news. Republican Congressman Peter King met with a reporter at a Safeway store of all places, and I guess he thought it was off the record, and among other things, he referred to Trump as being the equivalent of an evil Forrest Gump being elected president. I mean, that's just spot on, Congressman. I mean, so well said. So how would that go? Laugh is like a box of chocolate-covered porn stars. You never know what you're going to get. Syphilis, gonorrhea. But Congressman King was really embarrassed, as you can imagine, when the story came out. So his office put out a denial the next day. Congressman King, which is to deny any and all reports that he would ever set foot in a Safeway store. And last but not least, waiting for Mueller, Special Prosecutor Mueller, to hurry up and finish his Russian investigation, it's requiring the patience of, remember how way back when we used to have to use dial-up modems to get on the internet? It's worse than that. I mean, it's like waiting in line at a freaking Burbank Starbucks, okay? And there's 10 people in line ahead of you, and Mueller is the newly hired Starbucks barista, who's diligently going through the entire Starbucks employee handbook with each customer. So how's your day going? You got any special plans? You can't help yourself from the back of the line. You just have to pop off. How's her day going? How the hell do you think it's going? Trump's still in the White House. Hurry up, dude. I mean, for crying out loud, garden snails are blowing their freaking horns, in their little garden snail Priuses. Big deal, you finally raided Michael Cohen's office. It's about time. Now hurry up and raid the freaking Oval Office and perp walk the lion con artist out of the White House. Oh yeah, and by the way, hurry up with my triple mocha latte while you're at it. All right, take a look at this story here. This story by Anna Molin of the Bloomberg News says IKEA plans for future of mega cities and thin wallets. It says here, the Swedish furniture giant is now abandoning its policy of planning 5 to 10 years ahead, setting a new 3-year plan approach to keep pace with a rapidly transforming society of people who live in small spaces with little time. But then the CEO starts kind of getting into this corporate gobbledygook. We will take 3 years, he says, where we increase our ambitions for our business targets. What the hell does that mean? And then he says, where we also partly transform how we meet our customers. What the hell are you saying, dude? I mean, forget all that mumbo jumbo. The idea is to sell more IKEA furniture to customers with very little time, right? So just change to a simple 1-year plan. Take 1 year and put all this shit together for us. I mean, think about it. Who else has a business model targeting lazy Americans based on their customers having to read the freaking instructions and put it all together themselves? By the way, have you ever tried to follow their Swedish to English instructions? So, okay, you know what? I take it back. They're probably going to need a 3-year plan. Let's see, what else has been going on? Oh, Monica Lewinsky was back in the news. Did you hear about this? And I'm not making this up. Town and Country magazine uninvited Monica, poor thing, to their big annual philanthropy summit this year. They uninvited her when they found out that Bill Clinton was also planning on attending the event. And then Monica goes on Twitter to say that manners expert Emily Post would not approve. And I agree with Monica. This is just ridiculously rude. I mean, what was Town and Country magazine trying to do? Make her get back down on her knees again? I mean, this is just... It's crazy. And your heart really has to go out to Monica at this point. I mean, what's it been? It's been over 20 years and Bill Clinton is still getting away with giving Monica the raw end of the stick? I mean... But really, it was more about how they uninvited her. They just sent her a postcard in the mail that said, "Sorry, no cigar." I mean, who does? That's just so freaking rude. Who does that? But But you know what they were afraid of. You know why they did this, don't you? They were afraid that when Monica found out that Bill was also attending, she'd probably plan to make some big scene, maybe wear that infamous dress in question, and effectively stain the event, as it were. So, and I have to say, I agree with Monica that manners expert Emily Post would say that the way to handle this was not to ban Monica from the gala. I mean, besides, there's like millions of Americans that would die to see that dress, that really have a curiosity to finally see the thing. So the way to handle it would have been to just make Monica promise that she'd at least finally wash the damn thing first. And last but not least, how many of you guys bank with the Antichrist? No, I'm not talking about Mark Zuckerberg. He hasn't turned Facebook into a Bitcoin bank just yet, but give it time. I'm talking about Wells Fargo. Did you hear about this? Recently, Wells Fargo was hammered by the feds with a $1 billion fine, all because they were fraudulently forcing their loan customers to get car insurance that they didn't even need. So the judge threw the book at Wells Fargo, hit him with the maximum fine, plus 15%. Yeah, the judge said he added the extra 15% just because they're such predatory a-holes in this case. They wouldn't even let their customers save 15% by switching to Geico. All right, stick around. We got a great show planned. You don't want to miss it. Please, no channel surfing. We'll be right back. This story has got me really wound up and perplexed, so I saved it for last. Take a look. It's an obituary story by John Rogers and Janie Harr of the Associated Press, entitled Larry Harvey, 1948 to 2018, influential co-founder of Burning Man Festival. It says Larry Harvey, whose whimsical decision to erect a giant wooden figure and then burn it to the ground led to the popular long-running counterculture celebration known as Burning Man, has died at the age of 70. It goes on to say that Larry's longtime friend Stuart Mangrum posted on the Burning Man's website that Larry did not believe in any sort of existence after death. And now that he's gone, let's take the liberty of contradicting him and keep his memory alive in our hearts, thoughts, and actions as he would have wished. Let us always burn the man. And so I'm thinking, yeah, but see, that's just the thing here, because I read this whole article and clearly you're not burning Larry. There's not any mention whatsoever in this article about any plans to burn the man now that he's dead. How can this be? How can you be the founder of Burning Man? Admittedly, you don't believe there's any existence after your death, so no problem then. When you die, how can you not make burning your remains the grand finale for that year's Burning Man Festival? This is crazy. Don't you have to do that if you're the founder of Burning Man? Of course. You owe it to your millions of Burning Man disciples. They'd all go totally batshit. And then you'd live forever in fire and infamy. I mean, just imagine. Imagine you get like a big popular, a really good Doors tribute band, And you put them up on this big stage with like 500-watt speakers, And they could be playing Light My Fire. You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, when I'm dead you can't set me on fire. Come on baby, light me on fire. Come on baby, light me on fire. It's time to set the man on fire. The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. The time has come to light the fuse. Burning Man become a funeral pyre. Come on baby, light me on fire. Come on baby, light me on fire. It's time to set the man No, we're not going to have any grand finale like that. No big doors to life, none of that. You know, because Larry apparently didn't mean it all this time. It's really a bummer, man. Flame out. You know what this is like? This is like that athlete every 4 years, you know, with the Olympics, the athlete that carries the Olympic torch of fire in the opening ceremonies. You know, he or she runs through the streets into the stadium. The crowd gets all worked up. But then when they get to where they're supposed to use the torch to light the eternal Olympic flame, this is like that person carrying the torch just says, "F it," you know, and tosses the torch in a bucket of water and just heads to the nearest Starbucks, you know, for a mocha latte. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Winters. Thank you for coming on the program. I am so excited you're here in my studio. I don't know how I'm going to do this because...
Did you put this all together in therapy? This is the kind of thing we made the first time I had to go away. Wonderful little desk, almost for children, and you're an adult, but it works. The little glasses of water here. On the Leno show, and excuse me, you know, the other people, a Letterman, you don't even get this. You just got to look from him.
So I'm a step above that.
But you're a step above that. And this is, I didn't bargain to be this low. But I can understand it, and I'm not apologizing, and you don't have to apologize. I want to say this to your many fans, and say this to you directly, whether there's a camera back here or not. I watch you, and that's why I'm on the show. I knew there wasn't going to be a used Plymouth for me or something like that, or a set of toys that, you know, left over from Christmas or stolen from the Marines and Toys or Tots. Any rate, I said, I got to go on this show if the lady will have me on the show. Because a lot of people will say, and have, unfortunately, I don't know, you know, you've had a lot of problems. And which I have. I don't lie, but I don't talk about them because other people
You've been
can
diagnosed bipolar.
Oh, yeah, I know, and I'm not. Believe me, I tell you, I was maybe at one time, but I'm really now, as within the last couple of years, polar. I tell you why. Because my wife and I went on a cruise, and we went around the Antarctic.
Right.
So I'm just polar. I haven't been to the Arctic, you say.
So you're
but
just...
I've been to the Antarctic, so I'm just polar.
Okay. Well, yeah. Since my childhood, I was rolling on the floor laughing, so it's going to be really hard for me to interview you without...
Well, you're certainly nothing like my parents, because they were like this. What is he doing? What is this? And
you were doing your routines when you were a child?
Oh, yeah. I was an only child. And I thought foolishly I'd be number one first on the will. And I'd get that wonderful desk that my great-grandfather had, or great-grandfather, roll-top desk. I'd get the Civil War sword. I got stiff.
Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Young.
You lying about your Russian friends and all your treasonous shenanigans. Ooh, the damage done. I see your hair weave going up in flames. You know you only have yourself to blame. Ooh, the damage done. I've seen the Donald and the damage done. A little part of it and both of his sons going down like the setting sun. You conned your way into the presidency. Now everyone can see your dishonesty. Ooh, and Mueller almost done. Grabbing pussy, thought you had it made. You lied hide the fact that Stormy got paid. You fired Comey to keep us from finding out. I sing the song cause you're a piece of shit, and cause we all know that you're Putin's bitch, and also cause it really scratches my itch. I've seen the Donald and the damage done, a little part of it in both of his sons, but they don't get a pass just cause they're so fucking dumb. Once again, Neil Young.